Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and if you're like me and most people I speak to, one of your biggest goals in life is financial freedom, financial independence. You want to earn enough money and have enough money put away so that you never have to worry about money at all. You never have to worry about it again. And it's not going to happen by accident. You're not going to win the lottery. You're not going to buy a stock that goes up 100 times and no long-lost relative is going to die and leave you a bunch of money. If you want to achieve financial independence, you're going to have to do it yourself starting today. So, what's the starting point of achieving financial independence? Number one is get out of debt. You've got to get out of debt. We've been coasting for decades thinking, well, we'll make a lot of money, we'll spend it, we'll make some more, we'll spend it. It's over now. Our economy has changed, it's shrunk. You're going to have to become smarter and more disciplined than ever before. And so the key to getting out of debt, which we teach you in one of the 21 chapters in our program, The Miracle of Self-Discipline, is to spend less than you earn. You cannot consume more than you produce. You've got to start consuming less than you produce and then save and invest the balance. The basic need to get out of debt and to achieve financial independence is for you to save 10% to 20% of your income for the rest of your life. Now, most people, when they hear that, save 10 to 20% of my income, I can't save a penny. Do you know that 70% of adults live from paycheck to paycheck and have no savings at all? 70%? Your job is to get into the top 5 or 10%. So, what do? Easy. You start saving 1% of your income and living on the other 99%. If you earn $2,000 a month, you save $20 a month. If you earn $3,000 a month, you save $30 a month. That's $1 a day. You come home every day and you put $1 in your piggy bank, and at the end of the month you go and you put it into a financial freedom account at the bank. Now, in no time at all, in a month or two, you'll be comfortable living on 99% of your income, and like a creature of habit, you can then increase it to 2% and live on 98%. In a few weeks or a month, you'll be able to increase it to 3% and live on 97%. Do you know what will happen? In a matter of a few months, you'll be quite comfortable living on 90% of your income. You'll adjust your lifestyle and your expenditures, and you'll save a little money here and so on, and you'll start to develop a financial freedom account. Now, the next thing you do is start paying off your debts. And you start with the smallest of all. Make a list of everything that you own, take the smallest debt of all, and then just pay it first. What this does is it triggers a feeling of momentum and progress. And then you go to the next smallest and the next smallest, and as you begin to pay off these debts, you start to develop this feeling of power that I can do it, I can do it. The discipline of paying off your small debts and then your medium-sized debts and then your large debts makes you feel powerful. It raises your self-confidence and self-esteem, makes you feel fabulous. So to achieve financial independence, you've got to have goals, you've got to have plans, you've got to have disciplines, and you've got to have daily activities. So make a decision and then back your decision for financial independence with self-discipline. Now, my program, The Miracle of Self-Discipline, gives you a step-by-step plan to achieve financial independence, and that's only one out of 21 chapters, 21 areas of your life where self-discipline makes all the difference in the world. So get this program, The Miracle of Self-Discipline. Get it for yourself, get it for your friends, get it for your family. It will change your life. People who are listening to this program are absolutely astonished at how quickly they begin to become disciplined and focused and channeled in each critical area of their life. And it's unconditionally guaranteed. If you don't like it for any reason, you can send it back and there's no charge. So get The Miracle of Self-Discipline today. It will change your life.
The more you can feel that sense of joy, the more easy it's going to be for you to do financially. Because you're not going to be in this scarce, fearful mode. Now, that's not enough by itself. You can have this great sense of abundance and do the wrong mechanics and be a disaster. True or false? But if I have an area to get you started with, you want to have the emotion and psychological strength, because that's going to carry you through when the mechanics are boring or frustrating, or when things aren't working out. Your emotion, your psychology is what will carry you. It'll get you to keep doing it. Everyone knows, if you've done any studies, Dr. Seligman is very famous for doing studies on optimism. And in those studies, you know what he found out? People that are pessimists are much more realistic. They're much more accurate. If you give them a test and you ask them to look at something and give you a size measurement of it, or to evaluate their own success or failure at a task. And every study Seligman's done, he did it in the University, I think Pennsylvania if I remember correctly originally, what he found was that optimists always see themselves as doing better than they really did. They basically BS themselves. What happens to pessimists, they're 10 times more accurate. But here's what he found out. What he found out is because the people who are accurate never push themselves because they know it's never going to work anyway. Whereas the optimist sees it better than it is, so they keep doing it. Because they have the illusion they did well, I'll do even better next time. And because of that optimism, they did it more often, and so optimists succeed at a 4 to 5-fold, depending upon the task, result ultimately beyond anything that a pessimist will do, and they're not as accurate. All that's a big way of saying is, if you can develop a psychology of resilience in yourself, you don't have to be optimistic or fake, you can be real. The realness is, whatever shows up, you are larger than anything that can happen to you. You are larger than any financial challenge you could ever face. Initially, we'll say, well, look at their houses, look at their homes, and they don't really have electricity, they don't have this, but they don't feel poor. It's your identity. The way you define the wealth determines whether you're wealthy or not. So are there enough things for you, knowing that 2/3 of the planet lives on $2 a day, that you could get yourself to really feel grateful, yes or no? Yes. How much of your life do you get benefits from today that you never had to create? Think about it. Like I said, the roads you ride on, the library, the books you didn't have to write, right? The internet that you can access in seconds and get answers to just about anything. The people in your life that you didn't have to raise, but are there for you. Think about all the different aspects of your life. If you want to be wealthy, all you have to do is associate. So before we do the financial part, because financial independence is different than wealth. Wealth is that state of mind, financial independence is being in that position where you don't ever have to work again. That if you work, you do it because you really want to. Now I'll give you a clue. If you get financially independent and you don't work, you'll be miserable. I can't tell you how many friends I have that sold their company, made $50 million, one man made almost $1 billion, and was really excited for a while, but after a while, it was like bored. His vehicle of his business gave him a sense of contribution, and he was always growing, figuring out how to solve problems, and he had all the people he was connected to in the business, all the employees and friends and associates. So I want to tell you, I'm not just saying this as some little positive thinking technique. I'm telling you, this is the secret, the real secret, to shift it inside of you and to add the real value. Most people are trying to pursue something in the future that they already have. I want you to think of what it is you think you want that will make you wealthy or financially free. By defining the game in a winnable way, a certain amount of money that we meet, and that covers what we're going to call financial security, which might be your housing, your cars, your food, and basic entertainment. How many would feel rich if you didn't have to work, if your investments alone, the income from your investments, the income, covered those 4 items, your housing for the rest of your life, your food, right, your travel, and some entertainment? How many think that would feel pretty good? Say aye. And by the way, that number is way smaller than what most of you think of when you think about being financially independent, which is everything covered without working. So why not get the first one down pat? And you're gonna know exactly what that number is for you and what it's gonna take for that number where you don't have to work to meet it. Then we can look at financial independence, where you don't have to work and everything is covered. Then we go to financial freedom. You don't have to work and everything you can think of is covered. Anything you ever want to do for yourself or others, those you want to give. That's a different level, isn't it? And most people think of financial freedom, they come up with this gigantic number that if you even figured out everything you want, it's nowhere near as big as you think.